LeBron James could win 4, 5, or 6 more titles, and he would not pass the greatest player ever in any sport, Michael Jordan, because it's already over, and you need to get way over it. He cannot pass Michael Jordan because he could never pile up enough Kyrie-driven positives from this point forward to cancel all the negatives that have indelibly stained LeBron James' resume and career. I remind you, Michael Jordan was 6-0 in NBA Finals with 6 Finals MVPs. So let's start with this. Michael Jordan never, ever had a playoff series as remotely as ugly as LeBron's last one, his first go-round when he was a Cleveland Cavalier. That one was against Boston. Cavs went up, you'll remember this, that year, 2-1, thanks to a monster game by LeBron James up in Boston Garden in Game 3. So it's 2-1. And from that point forward, for reasons I can't explain, LeBron was so out of it in the next 3 games that some of his confidants had to plant a story that got reported at ESPN that LeBron had to be sedated before the last couple of games against Boston because he was having a personal issue in that Cleveland locker room. Boston won games 4, 5, and 6. That never, ever happened to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan never, ever had a finals meltdown like the one LeBron suffered in 2011, his first year, as you remember, with the Miami Heat. Again, up 2-1 after a big game by LeBron and company in Dallas. And according to my friend Stephen A. Smith, LeBron went back to his Dallas hotel room and wrote down a list of people he was going to say, "I told you so too," and that I was at the top of that list. And from that point forward, the chosen one, as he called himself, turned into the frozen one and melted down and shrank and disengaged in ways that we had never, ever seen. What are you doing now? Are
You
gonna
said the floor is yours.
You got to listen to what I'm
I
saying.
hear everything you say. I got you.
He shrank and disengaged in ways we'd never, ever seen a superstar disengage, to the point that lots of analysts, not only at ESPN but other networks, concluded this was the mentally weakest superstar we had ever seen on the big stage. And obviously, the Miami Heat lost games 4, 5, and 6. Michael Jordan never, ever melted down the way in a Game 6 that LeBron did in 2013. Joy will certainly remember this one at Miami as they were fighting for their finals life. And in the last 3 minutes of that game, LeBron James had 3 shockingly bad turnovers. Then he missed the tying 3, and he missed it so badly it bounded hard off the back of the rim. Long rebound to Chris Bosh, kicked into the corner to Ray Allen, who then made the greatest resume-saving clutch shot I've ever seen in all the time I've watched NBA basketball from the corner, tied the game, sent it into overtime, and it saved LeBron not only his legacy, but he would have been the literal GOAT of that finals. I'm not talking about the GOAT, greatest of all time, the literal blame it on you GOAT, because the late 3 turnovers and the missed tying 3. But they won in overtime. They won Game 7. LeBron was great in Game 7. And instead of falling to 1-3 in NBA Finals, he now obviously is up. He was at 2-5 at that point. 2-4. He would be 2-5 right now, but he could have been 1-3 at that point. Michael Jordan never got blown off the floor in an NBA Finals as LeBron and company did the following year when they lost by a record 14.5 points a game. And I don't know what happened because it was 1-1 going to Miami. Joy will remember this very well. But in games 3 and 4 at Miami, I don't know what happened. LeBron was just out of it, disengaged. I just kept thinking, what's wrong with him? And obviously they lost games 3, 4, and 5, and it was over quickly. And if you'd given Michael Jordan a 2-1 lead in 2015, even without his 2 co-stars, without Kyrie and Kevin Love, who'd obviously gotten hurt, Game 4 in his house, that was in LeBron's house, there's no way that a Michael Jordan would have come up small in a Game 4, and he was 7 for 22 was LeBron James. 5 of 10 from the free throw line. This is it. You have a chance to go up 3-1 at home against a Golden State team that still hadn't arrived yet as that Golden State that we knew the following year when they broke the NBA record for regular season wins. This was the old Golden State. They weren't sure how good they were. They had to make a lineup change, get Iguodala in the lineup, and yet that was it.
Skip, they won 65 games, but they
okay,
didn't know how good
they weren't sure. They weren't sure how good.
How can
they
you
were.
not be sure?
Okay, it's LeBron James. You're trying to make the case he's better than Michael Jordan. There's no way if you put Michael in his prime in that situation. I thought I had the floor here.
What are we? Are you going to take the whole segment?
You told me I had the floor. I'm not
so
finished
when do I get a chance to talk?
Okay, so last year, Michael Jordan would have never fallen to 3-1 down in an NBA Finals. He would have never needed a Draymond Green, the guts and glue of the other team, to get suspended for the turnaround Game 5. And never, ever was Michael Jordan ever disrespected on the floor. No opponent would have ever dared to call Michael Jordan the B word to his face during an NBA Finals game the way Draymond did to LeBron, and I've heard it from so many NBA players who came through ESPN. They just didn't have that much respect for LeBron because they thought he was a little soft. Draymond clearly thought he was soft. So who made the shot to close last year's finals? Obviously, it was the closer for the Cavaliers. It was Kyrie Irving. And we saw again on Christmas Day who closed the game, who brought them back from 14 down in the fourth quarter with 14 points. It's Kyrie Irving, who got called to take the last shot, to go solo all the way up the court and go one-on-one with Klay Thompson to make the last shot. It's Kyrie Irving. Michael Jordan never would have allowed that to happen. I'm sorry. He was the man. He closed for himself. Now Michael Jordan would look at LeBron James and say, he's got a new closer for him? That you're disqualified. You're over. You're out. You can win 3 more if you want to. That's it.